Have you ever texted someone, they don't reply, or they respond with that thumbs up emoji, and your brain instantly goes, they must be mad at me? Or maybe you missed a workout and suddenly you're thinking, oh, I am so lazy, I'll never stick to anything. Or my personal favorite, maybe you got critical feedback at work and straight away your inner voice is like, I am clearly not cut out for this. Why do I even try? Yeah, been there, done that. I'm sure, I hope it isn't just me. If your thoughts have ever spiraled like that, well, then this episode is for you. Because today we're calling out a really sneaky trap your brain loves to pull on you. And we're gonna explore the fun world of cognitive distortions. Don't believe everything that you think. Your thoughts are not always facts. And yet, most of us treat our thoughts like gospel. So in this episode, we're going to unpack the idea that not everything you think is true. We'll break down where these distortions come from, why they are so believable, so convincing, so easy to believe, and most importantly, how to stop letting your own brain gaslight you. So if you've ever been held back by that inner critic, stick around. You are not alone. Sounds good? Let's dive in.
Hey, I'm Noemi, former queen of bad habits and corporate go-getter turned well-being coach and personal growth junkie. And in a world full of overwhelming wellness advice, we're here to cut through the noise. This is your space to master healthy habits, transform your mindset, own your well-being, and design a life you love on your terms. We're ditching the highlight reels and embracing the whole messy, imperfect journey towards becoming our absolute best selves. You're the author of your own story. So are you ready to write the next chapter? Let's go, and welcome to Unwritten Potential.
Okay, let's get nerdy for a minute. What exactly are cognitive distortions and why do we all have them? Think of cognitive distortions basically like mental shortcuts, patterns of thinking that twist situations into something usually darker, scarier, or just plain inaccurate. Here's a simple way to think about it. Cognitive distortions are those automatic thoughts that increase your misery, fuel your anxiety, and make us feel rubbish about ourselves. That's the voice that says, you always mess things up. If I'm not perfect, I'm failing. Everyone is judging me right now. And that's not your intuition talking. That's not your gut feel. That's distorted thinking. Now, here's the thing. These distortions aren't some personal defect. They're actually rooted in how our brains have developed over time. One theory in evolutionary psychology is that our brains evolved to be really, really good at detecting threats. The idea is that back in our ancestral environment, it was often better to assume the worst because it kept us alive. Hear a rustle in the bushes, well, you better assume it's danger and react first, ask questions later. Whether or not that's the full story, what we do know is that our brains today still tend to default to that mode of danger first, facts later. And the challenge with that is our modern world is very different from the environment our brains adapted to. But our brain can still react to missed emails, skipped gym days, awkward silences, like they're genuine emergencies. Your amygdala, that's the part of your brain responsible for emotional processing, loves a bit of drama. It hijacks your thoughts, floods you with a lot of big feelings before your rational brain can even get online, can even switch on. So yeah, that jump from I missed a workout to I'm a complete failure at life might make sense from this perspective. But just because these thought patterns are common doesn't mean they're always helpful or that we have to stick with them. So now that we know where distorted thoughts come from, let's look at how they actually show up in everyday life. I'm going to walk you through the most common ones, and I guarantee you'll probably recognize a few old friends. All right, let's explore the most common cognitive distortions. And I'm betting that you'll have at least a few where you're like, oh my God, that's literally me. So the first one, and this is a big one, all or nothing thinking. Your brain loves to live in extremes. You're either crushing it or you're a complete disaster. There's no in between, no pretty decent or, oh, I'm making progress. And here, what this sounds like is, oh, well, I ate the cookie, so my entire diet is ruined. I might as well polish off the whole package and I'll just start on Monday. Anyone else? Or is it just me? I don't think so. Next up, mind reading. This one is super sneaky. You're convinced you know exactly what everyone else is thinking about you. Spoiler alert, you don't. None of us do. But picture this, someone doesn't text you back right away and boom, they obviously think I'm annoying. Or maybe someone seems a bit off in a meeting and you instantly think they hate my idea, they think I'm incompetent, I should probably just quit now before they fire me. Then we've got the shoulds or the bloody shoulds. I should be more disciplined. I shouldn't feel anxious about this. I should have my life figured out by now. I should be further along. And every time you quote unquote should on yourself, you're basically setting yourself up for a guilt trip. Like having a really judgmental roommate living in your head rent free. Now, let's talk about catastrophizing. This is your brain's favorite disaster movie. It takes one small thing and it turns it into this whole apocalypse. You mess up one presentation and suddenly your brain's writing the whole screenplay. I'm gonna get fired. Then I won't be able to pay my rent. Then I'll be homeless and I'll end up living under a bridge and eating tuna from a can. Very dramatic. But here's the thing, when you're in it, it feels completely logical. That's how convincing these thoughts can be. Another one, emotional reasoning. This one goes like, I feel anxious, so something must be wrong. I feel like a fraud, so I must be one. I feel overwhelmed, so I must be failing at life. But again, reality check, feelings aren't facts. They're information, sometimes useful, sometimes not. They're not the whole truth. Then we have the comparison trap. This one's having a real moment thanks to social media. Like you scroll through Instagram and suddenly everyone else is having the perfect life while you feel like you're a complete mess or your life is a mess. Look at her amazing relationship, look at his incredible career, look at her perfect abs. Meanwhile, I am here in my pajamas eating cereal for dinner. If you're comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reels, of course you're going to feel like you're losing. It's not a fair game. And finally, fortune telling. Your brain becomes this really pessimistic psychic. This relationship will never work out. I'll never get that promotion. I'm definitely going to embarrass myself at that party. Here's the truth. Your brain is absolutely terrible at predicting the future. And it's even worse at staying calm about it. So how are we doing? Are we having a few, oh shit, that's me moments? Good. We're reflecting. We're human. The thing is, once you can spot these patterns, you can start to change them. And that's exactly what we're going to do next. All right, this is where it gets good. This is the practical stuff. This is what moves us from self-awareness to action, which is awesome. These are the tools you can actually use when your brain starts its own drama. Think of these as your mental toolkits. You probably won't use all of them every single time, but having them in your back pocket can be a real game changer. Tool number one, name it to tame it. When you catch one of those thought traps in action, call it out by name, literally. Oh, hello, catastrophizing. Back again, are we? Well, if it isn't my old friend, all or nothing thinking. I know it sounds silly, maybe a bit cheeky, but here's why it works. The moment you label the thought, you create distance from it. You're not the thought, you're the person observing the thought. And that changes everything. It's like the difference between being caught in a storm and watching a storm from inside a warm, dry house. Same storm, completely different experience. Tool number two is show me the receipts. This is where you channel your inner detective. When your brain makes a claim, ask it for evidence. Like your brain says, I'm going to fail this project. You say, okay, really? Based on what concrete evidence, what actual facts supports your claim here? And you gather evidence like a curious investigator, not like a prosecutor trying to prove yourself guilty, okay? What evidence supports this? What evidence contradicts it? Like, bring some curiosity to this process. Most of the time, you'll find that your brain's been writing fiction and calling it fact. Tool number 3, flip the script. This isn't about lying to yourself or pretending everything is fine, everything is perfect. It's about choosing a more balanced perspective. So instead of, I should go to the gym, try, I want to feel strong and energized. Instead of, I am terrible at this, try, I'm still learning this skill. I'm a beginner. That's okay. I'm allowed to be a beginner. Instead of, I can't believe I made this mistake, try, mistakes are how I learn. I'm human. This is part of the journey. Like, you're not being delusional here. You're just choosing to see the whole picture instead of just the very narrow doom and gloom. Tool number 4, keep a thought journal. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, great, another thing to add to my to-do list, hear me out. This is literally 5 minutes a day. And just have 3 super simple columns. Column 1, write down the thoughts. Column 2, label the distortion. Column 3, challenge it with evidence or reframe it. Here's why it works. You'll start to see patterns. Maybe you always catastrophize on Sunday nights, right? You get the Sunday scaries. Maybe you're particularly hard on yourself after certain types of conversations or meeting certain people. And once you can see the pattern, well, you can change it. Tool number 5, talk back like you would to a friend. This one's so simple, but again, so powerful. Would you ever say to your best friend, you're such a failure for missing that deadline? Would you look at someone you care about and say, you look awful today, or you are so stupid for making that mistake? Of course not, right? So why is it okay to talk to yourself like that? Give yourself the same compassion, the same kindness you would give someone you love. Start with something like, hey, you're doing your best. One rough day doesn't cancel all of your progress. It might feel weird at first. Sometimes we're not used to being that kind to ourselves, but stick with it. You deserve the same grace you give everyone else. Now, here's what I want you to do right now while you're listening to this. Think of one thought you keep believing about yourself, even though part of you know it's probably not true. Maybe it's, I'm not smart enough, I always mess things up, I don't deserve good things. Go on? Good. That's your homework. That's the thought you're going to start questioning maybe today, maybe this week. Because here's what I know about you. You're stronger than your thoughts, you're smarter than your brain's drama, and you definitely have the power to change your own narrative. Real talk, you cannot control every thought that pops into your head. You just can't. Your brain is going to do its thing, and sometimes it's going to serve up some absolute nonsense. But here's what you can control. You don't have to believe everything it tells you. Most of your self-doubt, anxiety, super harsh inner criticism, a lot of it isn't wisdom. It's not truth. Often it's unhelpful mental patterns, those habits of thinking that can be changed. Now, I want to be super clear here. Sometimes our thoughts and feelings are trying to tell us something important. If you're constantly anxious about work, maybe there's something in that environment that genuinely needs addressing. If you're feeling persistently low, that might be worth exploring with a professional. So here's what I want you to remember. You're not your thoughts, you're the thinker. You're the one with the power to step back, observe what's happening in your head, and choose what deserves your attention. And that means you get to change the narrative anytime you want. Your thoughts don't have to run the show. You, my friend, run the show. If you enjoyed this episode, tag me on Instagram at unwritten.coach. I would love to hear what resonated, if anything clicked for you in this episode. And if you want some extra support to put all of this into practice, I have prepared a free rescue sheet. It's in the show notes to help you catch and reframe those distorted thoughts in real time. And if you find that these thought patterns are really persistent, overwhelming, or significantly impacting your daily life, it might be worth chatting with a therapist. Sometimes we need a bit of extra support to work through those deeper patterns. That's completely normal. There's absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. I have done therapy and it might help you uncover the root cause of these deeper patterns. So, yeah, get a bit of extra help. Take care, and I'll see you next week for another episode of Unwritten Potential.